My name's Jack and I work at the Arts in Brighton. My job's putting on art in the community. This is the Palace Pier, or the darker side, the side you don't normally see on the postcards. And I'm going to tell you a story which is about the darker side. In America there's a group called the PMRC, which stands for the Parents Music Resource Committee. At the moment in America they're banning all kinds of records for reasons that they state because the records are immoral or satanic or anti the American government. These records normally by young people who've just got something to say. They're not actually that critical. You might think this is an American problem, but it's spreading to England. At the moment, a leading high street record chain has got a list of up to 30 bands who they won't sell records by. Yet the only reason they give is these bands are wrong. The wrongness these bands seem to have just seems to be their political stance, nothing more. Their stance being merely critical of the government. In Manchester recently, plainclothes policemen stormed into a record shop and seized records by 4 bands. They gave no reason, they just took the records away and they haven't given any back. They're not pressing charges or anything, they just took them. George Orwell was wrong. This isn't 1984, it's 1988. And it's happened and nobody seems to notice. So you see it happening around your community or something, think about it. You may say it doesn't affect you, maybe you don't like punk records or something, but it's going to come down on all of us sooner or later.
I can understand people getting emotionally attached to their cars, but not in the respect of actually giving them names. I think there's something a bit funny about people that give names to cars.
They've got Michael.
Where did it happen?
Covent Garden. Can't have been gone more than 10 minutes.
What do they want?
What do they always want? Money.
When?
An hour, maybe 6.
The Renault 5. What's yours called?
Hello, this is my car. It's a Morris Minor, 19 years old. It's almost an antique, I dare say. It's called Thomas, from a trip we did to Sheffield Park to see Thomas the Tank Engine.
This is Old Smoky, an Austin 7 Special that my husband and I have restored. I'll get in. This is our anti-theft device, and plus it's much nicer if you're wearing a skirt, it's a bit more modest.
My car is called Hot Wheels. The name came around when I had to label a photograph to give to my mother, who hadn't seen the car and was in hospital for a while.
I've been driving in my car. It's not quite a Jaguar. I bought it in Primrose Hill from a bloke from Brazil. It was made in 59.
I've had him 4 years. It was straight after when I passed my test, I went out and straight away more or less and found him. Her friend and I always liked them, but she never passed her test, so I got mine first. And she bought one and sold it on, which is where the I love you sticker comes from. I love my car sticker. Because she said it's just got to be with the Morris.
I just hate cars, basically. This thing, sitting in a traffic jam once, and the horn started going off on its own, and indicators going off, and hazard lights, you know, wobbling all over the place. It stinks of petrol all the time. It's a pain in the neck. Lost my temper once with it and broke the steering wheel. Had to come home with a set of handlebars. Hit a policeman in it, plainclothes policeman. What else? I always know that they're not going to start in the morning before, even before I'm having my breakfast. I think, get out there, and sure enough, not going to start. Just like now.
I've been driving in my...
Right! Well, don't say I haven't warned you! I've laid it on the line for you time and time again! Right! Well, this is it! I'm gonna give you a damn
leave us alone. Tell that way that I was bad to the bone.
I've got 3 people that help me get cars ready for racing. Without them, I couldn't do it. There's Ian Collins, Keith Stone, and Ian Dad. One of them's a mechanic, Keith. Ginger's a carpenter, and Ian's an electrician. And between them, they make quite a good banger gang.
I enjoy straightening or smashing the cars with the hammer just for the sheer hell of it, I suppose. I don't see how you can get attached to a car. I mean, it's like I say, it's only a piece of machinery that you use. I mean, once it's done its job, and you get another one, won't you?
Well, a lot of people tend to look after their cars and polish them up, whereas I'm probably the opposite in a sense. I like getting a car. I'm not too bothered what sort of condition it's in. Sometimes they've been good enough for the road, good enough to sell even. You know, I'm still, that urge has made me strip them out and get them ready for racing, go out on the track and smash them to pieces.
I'm 21 years old. I've been driving now for only 4 years. The thing with driving a car is you're driving it through, we are through the middle of Maidstone now. You become very conscious that everybody's watching you. Not so much with this car, but with the Shadow, which is a much newer car. If you're driving it without your cap on and it's just a plain car at a time, you can't help imagining that people think, you know, it's your own car. One or two of my friends probably are quite jealous of me driving a car like this because, like myself, they only drive humble cars, Cortinas and such like.
My steering rack, I lost my steering. It's sort of keeping full on one lock all the time, so I've got to sort it out for the next race really, otherwise I'll get smashed to pieces in that one. I got sandwiched between 2 cars.
Not because I'm a cyclist, it's because we're being taken over by cars and people in their cars on their own and they don't actually talk to each other anymore, they get cut off from each other.
This is my custom car, or rather this is a model of my custom car. I haven't really got a name for the car as such, but I just refer to it as the Bug, which is really the American way of saying the Beetle. I wouldn't swap my car for anything unless it was maybe a Porsche, but it would have to be it'd have to be something pretty special to swap. But it's part of me now, having put so many hours work into the preparation and the painting. it would be terrible to sell it and watch someone else reaping the benefit, driving it around, and it sounds sick, but it's almost like giving your girlfriend away. You know? It's pretty unusual, really, that you get that kind of relationship with a car. It sounds sick, really. It's not. Just about everybody does this, I think, looks at their own reflection in the shop window. I think it's all part of cruising town. It's crazy, really. It's vanity, I suppose. Midkent Roadsters have been going, I think it's the 11th year now. We're just a bunch of enthusiasts, all into American-style hot rods and custom cars. We're pretty devoted to our hobby. Even on a cold winter's evening, you still get a reasonable turnout, but the cars always staying during the winter. The car usually takes up about 4 hours a week, I would say, roughly. Most nights when it's dry, I'll be out polishing or doing some kind of work. It's a great car to socialise with. It's great fun just for the hell of driving, just posing around town. It's not really a practical everyday car, so that means that I only really use it when the sun shines. Most people have a second car which they use most of the time, and then these cars are really special and just come out during the summer.
It's an original Shettage box bit, got a Mark II Zodiac rear axle and Triumph front.
It's got is it a 2 litre?
Yeah, full litre Weber carb on it.
Half the problem is not so much building something, it's keeping it on the road, isn't it?
That's
and
it.
Keeping every tiny square inch perfect. You have to be dedicated. It's like anything. If you own a horse or anything, you've got to keep it clean and groomed. It's the same with a car, really. Certainly there are a hell of a lot of members that are being meticulous about building their cars, and what looks like a pile of pieces one day will end up a complete car. Really, it's just like a full-scale model kit, really. It's just, everything's there, it just needs to be slotted into place.
Something I've always wanted. It only became available in this country approximately a year ago. They are very sought after in the States. There's only 26 in this country. They're driven by rock stars.
Well, now we've managed to straighten the track rod in, we're putting it back on, so hopefully we'll go out with 2 straight wheels. This is what we want. Keep these points going. In front's command's got to go. If I can get him, he's got to go out because he's a threat to me. Somebody's after me behind. He's gone out on his own, trying too hard. Well, the race would out and end because I need the points, and I'm in on the points. Down race. I've got no visor, I can't see what I'm doing very well. That's me out of it. Especially when I'm steering up, I've got to let somebody go and take it steady. Got a vast enemy behind. If he catches me, he'll put me well and truly out. One of my vast enemies holding me off, so I had to hit him, push him out, mess the distributor up. Distributor cap's broke, so no power whatsoever. Bloody annoying on the last lap, because that's £100 plus the points. I was in the lead, just got to get around there and I got it.
Forever, my darling, our love will be true, always and forever.
I suppose it's special because they're not made anymore.
I'll love just you.
It's a bit like the Golden Gate Bridge. Once you finish painting one end, you've got to start doing the other end again.
Your love
It's a very great feeling. You get a feeling of power when you're driving this car.
is fire in my soul, dear.
It's been a convertible. I love having a convertible.